what's up guys, how we doing? Let's talk about Howl's Moving Castle. This Studio Ghibli film was directed by the legendary Hayao Miyazaki and is based off the novel of the same name by Diana Wynne Jones. This film was released in 2004, and like all of their previous films that were distributed by Disney and now GKIDS, have an ensemble cast in their voice dubbing. I'd say this is probably his second most popular film compared to his Oscar-winning Spirited Away, which was also the first film he made after that came out. So the film is about a young woman named Sophie, played by Emily Mortimer, who lives an ordinary life working in a hat shop. One day as she's walking through an alley, she encounters dark, shadowy figures and a mysterious man by the name of Howl, played by Christian Bale. All of Miyazaki's incredible imagination comes out here, as well as a magical world where we see the two of them start floating in the sky and flying on nothing but air. Shortly after this encounter, she meets the Witch of the Waste, played by Lauren Bacall, who puts a curse on her to where she becomes a 90-year-old woman. She then leaves her hometown in an attempt to find a way to break the curse, and then runs into this gigantic moving castle. She's assisted by a mysterious scarecrow that can move and apparently help and understand what she's trying to do, who she nicknames Turnip Head. And on board the castle, she meets one of Howl's assistants, Markwell, a young boy, as well as the fire demon Calcifer, played by Billy Crystal. In the midst of all this, we have Howl working for this kingdom, as well as a war going on, and all sorts of interesting plot lines. Now, many people who know about Miyazaki's films know that he is very anti-war, and that was no different here. In fact, it's probably even more prevalent throughout this film compared to the rest of his, because even some of the characters blatantly say how much they can't stand war. This of course came out during the Iraq War in the US, and there was a lot of speculation whether this wouldn't perform very well because of it. However, it actually did really well, and that might be because it was his first film to follow up Spirited Away. One thing Miyazaki did really well in this film was present how age can be a positive thing as one grows older. We see how Sophie finds a sort of calmness in growing old, even though she has to get used to it at first. I found that very refreshing and really enjoyed how they portrayed it throughout the film. Of course, many if not all of Miyazaki's films contain feminist elements in them, with their strong female lead characters throughout. This film is no different in that way. He has gone on to say that this is actually his favorite film that he's directed, and my theory there is that perhaps compared to a lot of his other films, it's because maybe this one didn't have to deal with censorship, or at least getting a lot of cuts compared to some of the other ones he had to deal with. I'm sure there was plenty of censorship overall, but he had a lot of issues with some earlier projects, especially films like Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind when that came over to the US, and Spirited Away, which he wanted to be a little bit longer. But this film has a lot of good things going for it. It's got a lot of great, fun, and interesting characters throughout. It constantly makes you wonder whether some of them are inherently good or whether they're inherently bad, or what their real deal is most of the time. And let's not forget to say this film is completely gorgeous. It has some of the best imagery compared to any of his films. It is stunning to see this in high quality, you guys. It is also really well paced, and I say it could probably be a little bit longer, but part of me really enjoys the exact length that we got here, because some of his other films did go on a little bit long at times. This film at times though really does feel like it's just a ton of really incredible spectacles and magical moments one after the other. Just from scene to scene, it's just like, take a look at this, and then whoa, check that out. There's just so many cool things that go on in this film. And I will say guys, it was amazing to actually see this film in theaters. I was so happy that GKIDS put it on as part of their Studio Ghibli Fest this year. Now that it's over, I can only hope we get to see another one next year with some other films and probably bring back a few of these favorites. The only thing I'm not sure if they will continue to do is include their mini fest, which contains short films either before or after the movie ends. I for one love shorts, but I could tell some audience members in this film were not a big fan of some of the stuff we saw. But I don't know, I mean, one of the things we saw was about this really kind of interesting fish that we just saw getting cooked in with some classical music in the background and stuff. It was very fascinating. But hey, it's not everyone's cup of tea, so I understand. But this film truly shows off Miyazaki's stunning animation abilities. It's like he's pretty much blatantly showing you and saying it out loud sometimes. It's like you're seeing one thing happening and going like, whoa, check out this. See what I can do here? It's like, wow, this film really gives you the opportunity to see what he's capable of. Overall, this is a thoroughly entertaining and fun film that if you've never seen, you gotta check it out sometime. Grab the Blu-ray, hopefully, if possible, even see it in theaters if you can. Howl's Moving Castle is a spellbinding display of artistic amazement and arguably Miyazaki's most visually beautiful film, and that's why this film is a diligent pick. So what did you guys think of Howl's Moving Castle? Is this one you've always wanted to see? What is your favorite Miyazaki film, or any Studio Ghibli film, or just general animation film out there? I want to know. My name is Dylan, and if you love entertainment, subscribe to my channel while this video ends, and send me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching, and stay diligent.